Hello everyone and welcome to the home of Invoke. My name is Jens and I'm a business manager and chef here at the factory in Randers.
And I'm Sebastian and I'm a chef here in Randers at
Yeah.
Uno.
And we're coming to you live here from the kitchen in our showroom where we're going to do some healthy combi cooking today. We're going to have a little bit of focus on the SmartChef functions of the Invoke units. So first of all, we want to start off by cooking some fish, actually. Yeah. We're going to cook some salmon today using the SmartChef function. This is a great way of having maybe untrained staff, dealing with a complicated product and get a great result every time. So as a chef, when we talk about cooking salmon, what is necessary in the kitchen?
The first part is to make up with yourself if you want crispy skin or not. If you want the crispy skin, use an aluminum tray like this for the heat distribution. If you want the crispy skin, put it skin side down. Otherwise, if you put it the skin side up, it's easy to peel it off.
Okay, so if we're steaming, we skin side up.
Yeah.
If we want the crispy skin, like on a pan on a stove, skin side down, maybe a little bit of fat oil to help that.
Just a little.
Exactly.
To make it extra crisp.
Yeah. We're also doing some live cooking of some cod today. We're going to steam it sort of like the same way as the salmon. And as with all fish, salting it an hour before is really, really important. Yeah. Okay, but let's start with taking a look at the salmon cooking on SmartChef. Using the Invoke oven, it's of course very, very easy to get a perfect piece of fish and a great result. But I'm going to show you how the SmartChef functions can make things even easier for us. So first of all, we have a nice piece of salmon side here, and I have my Eterna non-stick multi-tray, and I'm just going to salt the meat side of the fish here. The skin is still on the back. I've put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the tray. Don't be shy with this. Just put a little bit more. And then we take the fish and lay it skin side up. We're going to cook our salmon in the bottom oven here of our staggered unit. We're going to use the SmartChef function to cook our salmon here. So we choose SmartChef and we're going to choose the fish option, of course. And I'm going to use steaming. So here I have the opportunity to adjust the core temperature and the steaming power. So let's go down to, well, it's a personal choice this, I think, but I like 51 or maybe 52 degrees of core temperature Celsius in my salmon. And we want to go a bit slow actually to protect that juice and fat in the fish. So we're going to start up the oven, close the door. And the oven will preheat and tell us when it's ready to load the fish. The bottom oven here in our staggered unit has preheated and our SmartChef function is ready to cook the salmon. So we open the door and we take out our core probe here, and I'm going to put it into the thick side of the fillet, just there. In the oven, it's finished. We now have the opportunity to either save the recipe or just press finish. I'm just going to finish this. And here we are. The salmon has been cooked quite slowly actually, using a lot of humidity and the slow steaming function in the SmartChef. So it's very safe to touch straight out from the oven. So using a spoon here, it's quite easy to just get a hold of the skin, which is now very tender. I like to take just a little bit of the top layer of fat off of my fish here. As you can see here, fish is nice and flaky. It has still contained all those layers of fat and juice in between, so it's gonna be really, really nice to eat. Just some fresh herbs, maybe a little bit more flaky salt. Bon appetit. Okay, so that was a really good example of how you treat your fish. You know, keep it delicate, keep the nutrients, and it's also about not overcooking the salmon. Yeah. So when we talk about especially fat fish, the omega-3 fat acids in the fish is very important for a healthy diet. Especially fish has gone up in price in the later decade a lot for many people. So it's about getting the most out of a piece of salmon. When you have that. Yeah. You're doing something here, Sebastian?
Yeah, we're preparing our little ratatouille.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna grill some of it.
Okay.
And the rest we're gonna cook in our
Opinion
tray. Yeah. And instead of tomato sauce, we're going a little different today with a carrot sauce.
Yeah.
To spice it up.
So we've actually pre-prepped a carrot sauce, and we're going to show you a demonstration on that in just a minute, I think. But basically, this is also about keeping that healthy kitchen.
Yeah.
So when we talk about really grilling the aubergines in the oven, to keep the juices, not overcook them, keep the weight of the vegetables as well, and then using the non-stick pans to do that healthy roasting, where we don't use too much oil, we don't burn the products. So if you get ready to put that in the oven, I'm going to continue with mine here, just as a little topping. And here we're on the last breath of winter, in the north at least. So we've been eating green leaf kale for a long time now. And what we tend to do is just cover it a little bit in olive oil. And then again, use the opinion trays as a roasting pan. And then I got the lowest oven here of my stack unit, running on 160 and low fan speed, opening sauce so we can dry up the products. And we're going to do some crispy kale chips.
Be delicious.
It's going to be delicious. So I think while we get this put into the oven, I think we should take a look at another winter-style vegetable, the celeriac.
Hi and welcome to the home of Invoke. Today we're gonna salt bake the celeriac. There's two ways to do it. The first way is just to cover them with a lot of salt, but here at Invoke we prefer to make a little paste out of the salt by adding egg whites. Make sure to wash it so it's all clean, and if there's some dirty parts, we'll just cut it off. And for the salt paste, it's just salt and egg whites. And it should be very nice and fluffy. The whole idea of the salt baking is to protect the item in the oven, in this case the celeriac, and at the same time the salt will suck out some of the moisture from the celeriac and create a very nice and dense texture to the vegetable. Now it's ready to go into the oven, and we will use the temperature probe to make sure that it's fully cooked, and we'll set the core temperature to 96 degrees. And it will take about 1.5 hours. It's very hard, so we had to leave it for a moment to cool down a little, and then we can cut some nice pieces of it and grill it. Let's try to cut it open. It's very beautiful now. You can eat it like it is, but we'll try to give it a little grill to give it a little extra. So just adding a little drizzle of oil. We are going to use our aluminium tray, grill tray, that has been heated up while cooking. So it's nice and hot, like a real grill. Now we have our beautiful grill marks and we are ready for plating. Just some raw carrots for the crunchiness, some Mizuna salad, hemp seeds. Enjoy.
Yeah, so the salt-baked celeriac, it's really the last 20 years been a favorite here in the Nordic kitchens.
Yeah.
Getting back to our roots, it's a very old method of cooking, you know, wrapping stuff in this salt paste kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when you look at the old Asian kitchens, they even did it with fish and meats. Yeah, and of course we also did it here.
Yeah. You get a very meaty texture.
Yeah.
To the vegetables.
Yeah, and intense flavor because the salt allows the liquid content to evaporate, steam off.
Yeah.
But you keep all the nutrients and all the proteins and the fats in the product. Yeah. So a great way of using a modern combi oven. There's no mess. Everything is kept in the oven, and you can go very low in temperature as well. So your consumption of electricity and water can be kept at a stable level. So actually, today we're trying to do a dish here with a baked cod. We're going to do that in the SmartChef. Right now in the bottom oven we have the green kale running. Sebastian just put in some ratatouille, and we're going to do some grill bars on the aubergines.
Yeah.
And then we're collecting it as a dish in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to add the carrot sauce that we're going to take a look at in just 10 seconds. So today it's really about the baked slow cooked fish, perfectly cooked fish actually, as we saw on the salmon video. And then it's, you know, how to combine a healthy sturdy meal without getting too much starch, sugar mixed into the whole thing. So let's take a look at the carrot sauce video.
Hi and welcome to the home of Invoke. Today we're gonna cook a little vegetarian sauce made only from carrots. The first step in the recipe is to roast the carrots in the oven to get out the rich and nice, delicious carrot taste. Second is to cook them with the stock, and then finally add the nut browned butter and some orange. Now the carrots are done. And we'll chop them in smaller pieces and cook them with the stock. And if you like, you can add some thyme. Now we are ready for mixing the sauce. But just before, we'll remove the fresh herbs. Adding a little orange juice and some of the very nutty border, also known as beurre noisette. Just need a little pinch of salt and maybe some water for the consistency. It's still too thick. That's what it looks like. Very tasty and a deep flavor of the carrot. It also goes very well with a piece of meat, of course.
Fantastic video.
Yeah.
It's a great sauce to do.
Yeah.
And it's a alternative to tomato pastas and what we usually do.
Yeah. And it's very tasty and
it's
profound in taste.
Yeah, and it's very rich.
Yeah.
And it's also, I mean, in these times, vegetarian kitchen is very big, growing all the time. So it's nice to have as many sauce bases as possible ready for restaurants.
And it's a good all-around sauce as well.
Yeah. So and this one we put orange juice in, of course. Flavors go very well with the sweet carrots, but I mean, you can add anything, sherry vinegar, apple cider, whatever. Herbs, any different herbs. You can even do it like a Greek style with some mint, maybe, and you can also break some feta cheese into the sauce.
Getting hungry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we use the beurre noisette, the color butter here, but it's also just to give it that, extra kick in the depth of richness. Yeah. The crispy kale is already done, 8 minutes. Very easy thing to do, actually. Only thing is wash your kale very, very good, so it's very clean, and then dry it out completely, so you don't introduce any water drops into the oven. And then you get this fantastic result. We can even maybe hear it on camera how crispy it is, but we still kept the color.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone brown or black. Bottom oven is telling us that the SmartChef function is ready. We've chosen roasting in SmartChef for the cod, but as we showed, you can choose the coloration of your product. So I've just taken it to the more lighter side, so the temperature won't go too far. And I think we should actually, maybe just swap so we can put the cod on this instead. How do you prefer your cod to be cooked? Temperature-wise, maybe, should I ask?
At high degrees.
High degrees?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
To get a crispy skin and a soft inside.
Yeah, exactly. So I put the core temperature to be 52.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough for all people out there. We are Scandinavian, which means we like raw fish.
Indeed.
Indeed, yeah. So if you like it to be more than 52 for your cod, just do it. Yeah. I think anything up to 65 is really quite good. And we have, of course, the core temperature probe here. And I'm just going to choose the thickest part of the fish here. Probably have to use my hands a little bit. There we are. And then remember to bring the wire on top of the oven, like this, because then it's really visible for anyone working with you in the kitchen that the core probe is in use. Okay, what are we moving on to now? A benefit from this stacked oven unit that we're using today is, of course, that we're roasting in the top, steaming or slow cooking in the bottom. So if you want to steam rice or bread and then roast or grill in the top, you can do that. You can also keep your prepping going while doing lunch service, perhaps. Maybe we should turn over the machines. Yeah, adding these grill bars to your vegetables before you put them into a stock or Exactly. Or
It looks like summer.
yeah, exactly. It's the Mediterranean summer look. It's really important to build the flavors of your food. And this is what we like to do, especially when we have a ratatouille now without the deep tasting tomato sauce. It's a great option to get some extra flavor into the vegetables. So I think in a minute or two the ratatouille will be done. We'll start to try and bake. The cod will probably be something like 5 minutes before it's ready. And before that, let's start getting ready for the plating. There we are. And then the carrot sauce. Should we add anything now to the carrot sauce?
Let's have a taste.
Let's have a taste and then let's look at maybe some herbs. It is very good. Very good. We could do with a little bit of herbs maybe. So we have some thyme. I washed earlier from the home and low garden. End of March. There's not a lot of fresh herbs in the garden yet. It will be there very soon.
But it's not coming up.
It is. It has begun to reappear. Some fresh thyme and maybe just a little dash of olive oil actually, just to support that Mediterranean thing we've got going today. So you actually used to work in a very big canteen for a big company.
Yeah.
And I bet there was a lot of pressure to do healthy cooking for the staff every day.
It was very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to please everyone taste-wise, but you can't just give everyone butter and gravy every day. No.
So brewing in the oven was a great opportunity to do a little extra.
Yeah.
Especially on the vegetarian side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice. So I think ratatouille is on.
Yeah.
The cod is already at 33, so it will be done in a minute or two. So what we like to showcase here is when you use these trays and you use 20% steam in the coffee function, is that you keep the size and shape of vegetables. Piece of green aubergine like this, you can see it has taken some coloration. It's completely cooked. Why not? It's also, but still very juicy. Juicy, it hasn't shrunk, 50% in size. You still have the weight of your vegetables. There's not a lot of water in the tray.
Not at all.
No, yeah, exactly. This is what you might get if you use a steel tray.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that heat distribution from the butter to the pan. So it starts steaming off and boiling before it takes off.
Yeah.
Okay. Just grab this. And again, as a main course, I think the size will fit. The sauce is actually pretty salty, so I'm just going to add a little bit of flake salt on top of the vegetables. The sauce will definitely be less. And the cod is at 44 degrees now. 45 actually, yeah. I think we can, for the sake of our viewers, maybe just take it out. We'll take the smaller piece, which is probably cooked already. So I think we got to 46 on the big piece. The smaller piece here will, yeah. So as you see, a little pressure and it starts, yeah, exactly, flaking off here. So just use that on the side here, and then maybe some herbs.
Yeah.
Find something. So this is a puree sauce, the style of this that we've cooked today. You can make it thinner, add more orange juice, add more vegetable stock, whatever you like.
And as you said before, it's going very well together with pork or chicken.
Yeah, exactly. A nice piece of pork on the bone.
Yeah.
Next to this. And then the salty, crispy kale and olive oil. Yeah. So we feel that this is a very good suggestion. What does a modern kitchen vegetable healthy dish look like today? And also, of course, how is it to cook in your kitchen?
Yeah.
Using all the smart functions of the modern combi ovens, especially of course the SmartChef for the fish, or salmon, or pork, whatever protein you're doing.
It's getting easier.
Yeah, exactly. Getting easier. No smoke in the kitchen. We still have the grill bars. We still have the roasted vegetables. Very easy. So, thank you for today. And remember to sign up on all these. We have social media. We have YouTube channel. Very important. All our previous videos are in there. Take a look at the LinkedIn or Instagram. A lot of exciting stuff happening there as well. And we'll see you next time for the next webinar.
Thank you.